Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Gorilla Gospel. And what we're going to talk about is leadership right now. And the heartbreaks and the upsets and the defeat and the negotiation and the humbleness and the mind and the peace with God and of the matter. So just catch on. We coming out of 1 Samuel chapter 30. And First Samuel chapter 30, man, which First Samuel is a tale of a many wars and accomplishments and things that had to be done because the world is full of good and evil. And you will see in chapter 30 where brother David is on the run from King Saul, and he done soldiered with a bunch of cities in the hood and everything, and come to be a fierce leader when it came to war and doing things for the Lord. And while out at battle, some people that was from another tribe, they was on their own little treasure hunt. But these were wicked people. These wasn't people of the Lord. And they went to the town that David was in with these people that trusted him and everything, and they slaughtered a lot of people and burnt it down and took the women and children. Didn't kill none of the women and children, no matter how old or young they were, and took them. But at the same time, one of Israel's main enemies were the Philistines. These very same people robbed the Philistines and did the same thing they did to the villages in Judah and everything, and burned their town down also. And I mean, at the time Israel was at war with Philistine, King Saul. But the leadership of David brings me to her brother Mandela here. I only read the first chapter of this book. And I mean, I remember being a kid when I found out that he was being released, that it was a big movement. It was a big thing that this brother took and went through, him and a lot of other people. And just reading that first chapter inspired me to look up leadership, to read a chapter out of that. And I mean, I got a bunch of things written about leadership that I got from, the deal, you dig? And I like leadership, especially when it's fair leadership, bro. When people can definitely understand that in leadership, there's going to be some bad decisions you're going to make. It's going to be bad to those who think you're wrong, but it's going to be good in the eyes of the Lord. But there's going to be people who make good decisions on bad choices. And it's going to be good for those who always think bad and evil. And this is where some people misunderstand the power of God and the people he sends to avenge his word, his mercy, and grace. And Brother Mandela was mentioning how these people was in his neighborhood destroying innocent people. And this is in the first chapter, and he was talking about how they was saying that they was doing it in the name of the Lord and everything, in the name of God, that they was doing this. And I remember doing a segment about how the KKK call themselves Christians and they doing stuff in the name of the Lord, but let me explain something to you. God do not smite people who is trying to live in his word and live a decent life. that's trying to educate themselves and get decent jobs and stuff like that. When you got evil, wicked people destroying villages and human beings that's organizing themselves to cook clean and live clean and wanting to just equally share opportunity with land and just the word of God and everything, and you kill them off like you know the Trail of Tears, so to speak. Now here these Indians then gave in and negotiated with these people that we'll take this part of the land and you take this part of the land to stop the bloodshed and everything, for to just be ambushed and tribes be murdered. And they say they done that in the name of the Lord. You have to understand what you using God for, bro. Because he's gonna send somebody like David. If you read chapter 30, he's gonna send somebody like Brother Mandela and Brother David and Obama and King and John F. K. and Abraham Lincoln, and just people who knows what doing work for the Lord means. And if you read 30, you will see that David was under a lot of pressure, and he called out to the Lord, and the Lord spoke and told him, "Hey, yeah, go after him. Go get your women back. Go get your stuff back. Make sure none of them live." You dig? It's like that. You have to get rid of evil, but evil will always grow, just like those weeds that you see in my yard. Unless the world understands that righteousness and faith can bring us from a lot of poverty, disease, and senseless killings and murders, we won't understand, the true concept of life. Uh, you have bad seeds, and it's due to the mental stage of a person's life. Some of them can't shake back from what was done to them as children. Brother Mandela went through a whole lot, just like a lot of them. Just chapter 1 alone gave me chills. For him to have the mind concept to come out and be first president of South Africa shows me that no matter how crazy a person may think you are, the fruit of that person shows different. And to be isolated and tormented and tortured as he was, and other people who was trying to be civilized people, well, that go to show you that God is with you. He will keep you sound mind. This bullet right here represents that we're not at war with the flesh when it comes to spiritual people. We're at war with the spirit, which is in people, that causes you to die. These bullets right here represents not only do you have to walk on eggshells in the house of the Lord, but you definitely gotta watch your step walking in the presence of evil. Because see, without gun control, these type of bullets is what hits our children. From the 80s, when this man was going through what he was going through in South Africa and everything, it was a worldwide spread. It was a tsunami. And guess what? Everybody that was not of understanding what was going on was dealt with very bad. In the United States, they done it in the name of the Lord also. They brought disease and chemicals and all this other stuff and unjust judgment, and you put people in jail from trying to stand up for what's right, stand up for the children, the schools. All our schools are dead. All our communities are dead. And this is still going on because they got some people that are just still programming to doing that. But, you know, in some wars, God uses people in his own ways. And some of those people who got caught up in drug wars, trying to get good out of bad, like I always say, I pray for them because there was no way out. This brother, this brother found a way out through sound mind and understandings of life from spiritual. Spiritual, yeah, we supposed to live good and everything, but understanding comes out of reality and the way things are going. And you have to let God do His work through people, whether they good or bad, and you play your part of the matter. And this is how you will overcome some things and win back your city and take back your women and children. But those bad seeds that grow as weeds around flowers and fruit trees and everything in schools and churches and hospitals and lawyers, and you know what I'm saying? Those weeds, if you could spot a weed in your yard, you could spot a weed in a person. And to get rid of that weed, well, that's in the name of the Lord right there. Okay? Not sitting here saying that you doing something in the name of the law by raping children. Not doing something like killing all people just because you got the power to, or you want to possess what's in that land. That's not doing it in the name of the Lord, brother. Okay? It's when you unite with people, and because unfair scales is an abomination to the Lord. It says that in the Bible. If you say you do things in the name of the Lord, what Lord do you serve, brother? Where do you come from? You serve the weed God. Well, you give weed a bad name. You serve the curse God. There it is. Because everybody always take good and twist it and make it look evil, bro. To where no, we confused now. We rather do bad because trying to do good leave us open hearted and we get stabbed. But it's it's bad. But if you read chapter 30, all right, all the way through and get some understandings, I advise you to read this book because I believe that I'm going to read so much of a true warrior. You talking about we're not talking about no college degree here. Okay? We're not talking about no silver spoon here. We're talking about a true David here. That's what we're talking about here. He was talked to. This man was spoken to most likely to keep the sound mind that he had, the understandings and the patience and the talk. He didn't have that high education. Come to find out as I read the dialogue or whatever you call it. But he won a whole nation through his peace of mind and his good spirit of heart. And if we can't learn off of this and we keep letting the evil spirits back into politics and take over and everything, don't don't do like they was about to do David in 30 and cry out and want to stone him and everything. Instead, talk to the Lord, get some courage to fight and go after your women and children in neighborhoods and stop things like this. You know what I'm saying? Stop things from this entering the lives of little young kids. And that's Guerrilla Gospel 1.